Did Caitlin Clark just pull off the biggest rookie glow-up we've ever seen? A 23-year-old walks into the WNBA, making less than a mid-level office manager, and within months, she's the face of Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson. She's got a signature shoe, her own basketball line, and Time magazine slapping Athlete of the Year across her picture, like it's not even up for debate. Here's the kicker. Her rookie salary was just $76,535. That's it. Barely enough to keep the lights on if you're living in LA. And yet, while the paychecks from the Fever look like pocket change, the real money stormed in from everywhere else. Nike inked her for 8 years and $28 million. Wilson put her name on basketballs. State Farm, Gatorade, Buick, they all piled in. By the time she laced up for her first WNBA game, she was already worth more than half the league's veterans. And that first game? A record 2.1 million viewers tuned in to watch the Indiana Fever. For context, the WNBA had never sniffed that number before.
Closed out her career as the NCAA tournament's all-time leading scorer. Caitlin, welcome to our set.
Suddenly, every game she played was an event. Sold-out arenas, TV deals scrambling, jersey sales off the charts. Whether you liked her or not, you couldn't avoid Caitlin Clark. Here's where it gets interesting. Usually when a rookie becomes a cultural juggernaut overnight, the lifestyle goes Hollywood. Flashy cars, velvet ropes, Instagram flexes. Clark flipped the script. Off the court, she's weirdly normal. She spends Sunday nights baking brownies, not popping bottles. She goes to mass when she's home in Iowa.
It was nice to get away from everything and just kind of be able to live my life as a normal person, enjoy things that I love to do, cook, bake, be outside, go watch other sporting events, see my family.
And she unwinds with golf, not Vegas clubs. It's the kind of balance that makes older fans who've seen stars burn out on ego actually nod in respect. Not that she doesn't have toys. Clark's garage isn't full, but it's deliberate. Her headline ride is a Porsche 911 Turbo S, a $230,000 rocket with 640 horsepower that hits 60 faster than she can launch from the logo. She's also got a Range Rover Sport, the unofficial team bus of pro athletes everywhere. But here's the key. She doesn't treat them like Instagram props. No staged selfies with the hood up. Each car marks a milestone. The Porsche after the Nike deal, the Range Rover after dragging Indiana back to relevance. They're less flex and more chapter titles. Homes? Same deal. In Indianapolis, she went practical. An $800,000 mansion downtown, walking distance to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Floor-to-ceiling windows, skyline views, minimalist design. Not a mansion in the suburbs, but a smart base camp. Back in Iowa, she and boyfriend Connor McCaffrey bought a $650,000 house they call their sanctuary. It's not ostentatious, but it's theirs. A place to eat breakfast, swap Hawkeye stories, and pretend the cameras don't exist. And yes, she's already eyeing a $1.2 million vacation property in Iowa with a private court and meditation garden. But again, not for show. For training, focus, and escape. That's the difference. Now about Connor. He's not just the boyfriend, he's the rare partner who actually gets it. Former Hawkeye guard, now coaching at Butler, he knows the grind and the spotlight. They went public in summer 2023 with one boat picture captioned, "Best way to enjoy summer." And that was that. No PR circus, no drama, just steady. When she was drafted number 1, cameras caught Caitlin's smile, but if you looked close, Connor's pride said everything. He's the guy in the stands, not in the headlines, and that's exactly how Clark likes it. Of course, the ride hasn't been all highlights. June 1st, 2024, Indiana versus Chicago. Kennedy Carter shoved Clark to the floor without the ball, and suddenly the league wasn't just about basketball. It was about race, privilege, and who the cameras choose to love. Some called it dirty, others called it a welcome to the league. WNBA vet Natasha Cloud called the backlash racially biased. Aja Wilson told Time that Clark enjoys privilege black players don't.
You say you're not really about me, and she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point, and also she's good at basketball, obviously. But she understands her privilege and pushes her over.
Just like that, she was a debate topic on cable news. And through it all, silence. No Twitter posts, no interviews, no revenge speeches. Just buckets. She answered with 32 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds against the Liberty. But let's not sugarcoat it. Clark's rise isn't just about talent. It's about timing, branding, and playing chess while everyone else is still learning checkers. Before she even touched a WNBA court, she had already pulled in over $3 million in NIL money at Iowa. Gatorade, State Farm, Buick, Bose, Hy-Vee, they all signed checks like she was already a pro. Remember that cereal, Caitlin's Crunch Time? It sold out at Hy-Vee faster than a pack of Super Bowl chips. Fans weren't just buying flakes, they were buying into the brand. And yes, part of the proceeds went to charity. Smart business, smarter optics. So when Nike came calling, they didn't just want a face, they wanted a movement. The deal? 8 years, $28 million, and her own signature shoe. That wasn't just the biggest contract in women's basketball history, it was a cultural moment. Suddenly, she was being compared to Michael Jordan. Not because of stats, but because Nike understood one thing. Clark doesn't just make shots, she makes people care. And caring is where the money is. Every time she pulled from the logo, Twitter lit up. Every time she sold out an arena, sponsors saw dollar signs. That's why her net worth is already estimated north of $5 million and climbing. Analysts predict she'll cross $50 million within a decade. That's not WNBA salary money. That's empire money. The crazy part? She treats it all like it's normal. Ask her about the Porsche, and she'll say it feels like hitting a deep three. She doesn't lean into the celebrity life, which makes her more magnetic. In an age where athletes flood their socials with every latte and every vacation, Clark lets the mystery breathe. Fans fill in the blanks, and brands cash in on the intrigue. Now, don't confuse low-key with boring. She vacations in style. After Iowa's 2023 Final Four run, she and her teammates cruised through Croatia and Italy. Sunsets on the Adriatic, cocktails on the deck, laughter echoing across the water. It looked like a rap video without the rap, but here's the difference. She didn't broadcast it for clout. Fans saw glimpses, nothing more. To her, the trip wasn't about proving she made it. It was about soaking it in. That's the thread that runs through her lifestyle. Subtle, strategic, almost surgical. When she spends, it's on assets. Condos, cars tied to milestones, a vacation home designed for training. When she indulges, it's personal. Golf trips, baking, faith, family. The balance makes her harder to knock down. Critics can call her overrated, but they can't call her reckless. And yet, controversy sticks to her like sweat. The Olympic snub was the loudest. After breaking Pete Maravich's all-time NCAA scoring record, after selling out every Fever arena, after pulling millions of new viewers into the league, Team USA left her off the Paris roster. No explanation, just silence. Fans were outraged. CBS called it a slap in the face. ESPN openly questioned whether the committee was protecting veterans from being overshadowed. The backlash, was she too young? Too hyped? Or was it just politics? Whatever the reason, the message was clear. Clark's spotlight burned so bright, some people wanted it dimmed. But here's the thing, she doubled it. The same summer, she put up record-breaking games for the Fever and drew 2.8 million viewers against the Liberty. She didn't need an Olympic jersey to prove anything. She let her game do the talking, and the fans did the rest. Older fans recognize this playbook. They've seen Larry Bird, Kareem, Magic, all guys who let performance answer criticism. Clark fits that mold. She doesn't whine, doesn't rant, doesn't post cryptic captions. She just gets back on the court and drains another logo three. It's a style of toughness that feels old school in the best way. And that toughness isn't just physical, it's mental. Imagine being 23, dragged into national debates about race, privilege, and media bias, all while leading a franchise that hasn't been relevant in years. Most rookies would crack. Clark hasn't flinched. She signs autographs before games, bows during the anthem, and smiles through pressers. She's not playing the victim. She's playing the long game. That's why even in the middle of controversy, her fan base keeps growing. Some love her for the buckets, some for the attitude, and some just for the way she pisses off the people who want her quiet. Either way, she's become bigger than the box score. And that's the real story of her lifestyle. It's not just about luxury, it's about control. She controls the narrative without ever speaking. She controls her money without flaunting it. She controls the spotlight by pretending she doesn't even want it. And that kind of control, that's rarer than any contract or Porsche. Now let's talk real estate, because this is where Clark shows she's thinking 5 moves ahead. Most rookies rent a place, maybe crash with teammates, or split an apartment that smells like Gatorade and takeout. Clark, she dropped nearly $800,000 on a sleek condo in downtown Indianapolis. Strategic, not flashy. It's a 10-minute walk from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, meaning no commutes, no excuses. Floor-to-ceiling windows, skyline view, minimalist design. Not a palace, but a headquarters. The kind of place you buy if you know your schedule revolves around training, games, and the most talked about rookie in the WNBA spends her downtime like any other 20-something couple. Eggs, coffee, stories about college days. That's the appeal. Fans can imagine her living like them, just with better jump shooting and a Porsche in the driveway. And because Clark doesn't do just enough, she's already planning a third property. A vacation home in Iowa rumored to cost about $1.2 million. But this isn't a rich kid Instagram backdrop. It's designed as a retreat with a personal basketball court, meditation garden, and private gym. A house built not to show off, but to train harder and reset her head. Most rookies blow their first checks on chains and Lamborghinis. Clark's building real estate that doubles as an extension of her career. That's how you get from $5 million to $50 million without blinking. And that's the pattern across her lifestyle. Every piece of luxury has a purpose. The vacation house isn't a party spot, it's a training ground. That's discipline disguised as indulgence. Now, about that Porsche. The 911 Turbo S isn't just a car, it's a statement. $230,000, 640 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. Her second ride, the Range Rover Sport, is more practical, but no less telling. But around $100,000, it's the athlete's Swiss Army knife, luxury and utility in one. Teammates have joked that she pulls up to practice with sunglasses on and music blasting like she just walked out of a hip-hop video. But notice this. There's no gold rims, no neon paint jobs, no camera crew snapping every angle. These aren't toys, they're markers. Porsche for the Nike deal, Range Rover for putting Indiana back on the map, each one tied to an achievement. And that's why her fan base buys in. Because for all the headlines about money and luxury, she's not blowing smoke. The lifestyle matches the grind. But no lifestyle story is complete without relationships. Connor McCaffrey isn't just the guy in the stands. He's part of the foundation. A former Iowa guard who's now coaching at Butler, he understands the weight of the spotlight. They started dating quietly in April 2023, went public with one photo on a boat that summer, and that was it. No reality TV, no clickbait drama, just steady. When Clark was drafted number 1, the cameras caught her smiling. But the look on Connor's face was pure pride. Days later, for their 1-year anniversary, the Instagram posts weren't marketing fluff. They were simple. "You make my everyday better." His reply? "Life is more fun with you. I love you." No one's winning a Pulitzer with those lines, but fans noticed something refreshing. It wasn't staged. It was real. And here's where the sarcasm comes in. Imagine being 23, worth millions, and your biggest flex is breakfast with your boyfriend. In a world where most athletes broadcast every date night, Clark's romance is almost boring. But if her personal life is steady, her professional life is a storm. Kennedy Carter's shove lit up debates about race and privilege. The Olympic snub poured gasoline on it.
Women's basketball feels like it's suffering from spite or historically low self-esteem, where they want to prove that they know more than you do.
Analysts scream that leaving her off Team USA was insane. Fans called it politics. Critics said she was overhyped. And Clark? She didn't break her silence. She broke records instead. Rookie of the Year? That was her mic drop. And millions of viewers tuning in? That's the scoreboard. But if you think her journey has been all about money and fame, you can't be more wrong. June 1st, 2024. Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky. Caitlin Clark didn't even have the ball when Kennedy Carter shoved her from behind, knocking her flat.
And after this controversial foul on Caitlin Clark.
Unnecessary.
Clark's Indiana Fever taking on the Chicago Sky on Saturday.
It looked dirty, it felt targeted, and within minutes the clip was bouncing around every screen in America. Some fans said, "That's basketball. Welcome to the league." Rookie others called it a cheap shot. That proved she had a bullseye on her back. But the real explosion wasn't on the court, it was online.
There's things called talking, what you like to call smack or whatever everybody likes to call it.
Yeah.
Plays before things are said, you know, that's a part of basketball.
Social media turned the shove into a cultural referendum. Why, people asked? Did Clark's fall become the headline, while similar fouls barely got a mention? That's when veteran Natasha Cloud jumped in, saying the outrage was racially motivated.
Natasha Cloud has come out and said the new fans that have come into the league, a lot of them are racist.
What it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's it.
Suddenly, one shove wasn't just a foul. It was a debate about race, media bias, and who gets the spotlight. Clark's response? Nothing. No angry tweet, no sit-down interview, no clap back to prove a point. She just got up, dusted herself off, and went right back to dropping threes. Depending on who you ask, that silence was either a sign of strength or weakness. But look at the results. Viewership spiked, her jersey sales jumped, and her face became even more recognizable. Whether you loved her or hated her, you had to talk about her. And that was just the start. A few weeks later, Team USA dropped its roster for the Paris Olympics, and Caitlin Clark's name wasn't on it. The rookie who broke Pete Maravich's NCAA scoring record, the player drawing record TV audiences, the face of NBA's biggest women's basketball deal in history, left off the list. Fans were furious. Analysts called it a slap in the face to everyone who bought into the WNBA this season. Theories flew. Was she too young? Was she too popular? Was the committee afraid she'd overshadow the veterans? Nobody gave a clear answer, which only made the noise louder. Meanwhile, Clark just laced up and played. In the middle of all that drama, she dropped 32 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds against the Liberty. A performance that pulled in 2.8 million viewers, the most in WNBA history. She didn't need a Team USA jersey to prove anything. She proved it on her own terms. And that's been the story all along. Clark doesn't feed the chaos. She lets it eat itself alive while she racks up highlights and endorsement deals. Every shove, every snub, every headline, she absorbs it, stays quiet, then turns around and delivers a game that forces everyone to watch anyway. That's why her critics call her overrated, while corporations throw millions at her. She's not just playing basketball, she's controlling the spotlight by pretending she doesn't even want it. Older fans know this strategy. It's Bird shrugging after dropping 40. It's Kareem ignoring the noise while stacking rings. It's old-school toughness in a modern league that thrives on hot takes. Clark doesn't explain herself because she doesn't need to. Every logo 3, every assist, every sold-out arena is an answer. But here's the ironic twist. The very things used to tear her down are what built her brand bigger. The Carter shove? Proof she's the player everyone's watching. The Olympic snub? Proof she's too big to ignore. The privilege debate? Proof her name alone moves markets. Whether you think she earned it or not, the business world doesn't care. They just see dollar signs, and Caitlin delivers them by the millions. That's why she's different. Most rookies break under that kind of heat. Clark built an empire out of it. By the end of her first season, she wasn't just Rookie of the Year. She was a cultural figure, a corporate juggernaut, and the single biggest draw the WNBA had ever seen. And she managed it all without ranting online, without throwing shade, without ever raising her voice. Instead, she leaned into the other side of her life, the side that keeps her sane. Sundays in church when she's home in Des Moines, evenings baking brownies in her Indianapolis condo, vacations that recharge instead of flaunt, breakfasts with Connor in their Iowa house. That balance is her armor, and it's why at 23 she already feels less like a rookie and more like the face of a movement. Here's the part that really sets Caitlin Clark apart. She's not just playing the game, she's rewriting the business model around it. Think about where she started. A rookie contract worth $76,535, basically the salary of a middle manager, while dragging in more TV ratings than the league had ever seen. Most athletes would have complained. Clark flipped it. She leaned into endorsements, locked in Nike's historic $28 million 8-year deal, and stacked partnerships with Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, Buick, and more. That's why her net worth is already north of $5 million at 23. And it's not just the money, it's the way she spends it. The condo in Indy isn't some penthouse meant for Instagram photos, it's a practical base camp. The Iowa house with Connor isn't a mansion, it's a sanctuary. The Porsche isn't just a toy, it's a marker of achievement. Every move is strategic, every dollar is tied to something that either grounds her or builds her brand. That's why experts say she could hit $50 million within a decade. Not because she's dropping 40 a night, but because she's building like an entrepreneur. That's the kind of move you expect from a Serena Williams or Naomi Osaka, not a 23-year-old rookie in her first year. And maybe that's why older fans connect to her. She waves to the crowd after losses, signs autographs before games, bows her head during the anthem, the kind of gestures that don't make headlines but stick with people who've watched enough athletes burn out. Clark feels like an echo of the past and a blueprint for the future at the same time. And here's the reality. Love her or hate her, she moves the needle. The WNBA has never seen a rookie like her. Every game is a spectacle, every highlight is a talking point, every endorsement deal sets a new bar. She's already bigger than her team, arguably bigger than the league itself. And that's the question hanging over all of this. Is Caitlin Clark lifting the WNBA, or is the WNBA leaning too hard on Caitlin Clark? Can one player carry an entire league's relevance, or does that spotlight eventually burn her out? Time will answer that. For now, what we know is this. Caitlin Clark's luxurious lifestyle isn't about flaunting, it's about building. A Porsche in the garage, yes, but also brownies in the oven. An $800,000 condo in Indy, but also Sunday Mass in Iowa. A Nike contract worth millions, but also a boyfriend who still feels like the college sweetheart. It's that mix, superstar and small-town girl, that keeps her story magnetic. At 23, she's already Rookie of the Year, the face of Nike, a multi-millionaire, and the most polarizing player in women's sports. And she's just getting started. So here's where I'll leave it to you. Do you think Caitlin Clark's empire is going to redefine women's basketball for a generation? Or has the hype already outgrown the league itself? Drop your take in the comments, and check out this next video about Caitlin Clark's injury and how it's turning WNBA into a flop fest.